Hello everybody, Zeff here with ZeffsTrading. Hope you guys are doing well today. April 15th, 2024. We're going to be doing our daily chart review of the 2000 Tick Chart and the daily chart of ES Futures. Okay, what another day. Started pretty slow, but downward drift all the way coming almost to our outer band here. We got to this support level of 5100 and went through it a wee bit. Maybe next target's going to be 50.50. We'll see. We'll see how tomorrow plays out. But clearly a correction coming down here for this overall market, as this trend has been up for quite some time. So maybe we can look for a 50% retracement, order this major support level here around 48.50. But we'll see what happens. So let's jump over to the 2000 Tick Chart. Okay, this is what it looks like for today. Major downtrend, bearish move the whole way down. I think there's a few ways to draw basically a trend channel across the board here, but nonetheless, you can clearly see it. It's trending down. Okay, so let's get right into it. Pre-market, I don't see a whole lot here. Market opens, and then the first trade we get after we get an uptrend break and move to a new high. It's a trading range for some time, for about 30 minutes before we start selling off here. And that's when I see a first entry short. It pulls back, and I see a second entry short right here. This isn't the best signal bar. That's why it's an aggressive trade. But you are expecting a break and new low with this downtrend here. So I think that's an aggressive setup, but overall it's a first entry, second entry short, and also it's a first entry, second entry long, and it fails. Comes down to about 52.02 here where the support is. You just get a first entry short, you don't get anything here, you just get a hoagie, and it moves back up to the resistance. You haven't established major resistance yet, but then you can enter this trade when you see a first entry, second entry long, and it fails. And that's also a lower high basically as well, with room back down to the EMA. So then we sell back off all the way to the support here, and I was thinking of 1, 2, 3 on a triple test. Maybe if your signal bar is better than mine, this would have been a better trade for you. Nonetheless, we just chop sideways here. Gets pretty noisy. And then the sell-off starts. Sorry about that. We get a nice bearish trend down. We get a first entry, pulls back, second entry short. Saw this real time. This was pretty hard to do live just because you had this major big bullish bar closing on its high, major big bullish bar closing on its high with no stem. And I was very skeptical about entering one tick below. This is a pretty low risk bar. Looking back at it, you clearly have a two-legged move back to the 50%. So I think that was a good second entry short, but it's hard to take some of those. Nonetheless, you get a first entry, pulls back, second entry long. No valid setup here though. You get a move up, breaks, and then you get another first entry, pulls back, second entry short. I was a little hesitant with this one because of the room back to the support here. There was enough room. It ticks through. But this lower high second entry short, I was looking for this bar to just close a little bit on its lows here, but it didn't. But good is usually good enough. So another nice second entry short looking back at it. Then we get a 1, 2, 3 triple test. We have this downtrend in play here, and I think this was a good setup here. I walked away from the computer, but I think you also get a also new high, first entry, second entry long, back to the EMA, triple test across the board. It's a good trade. Okay, sells off here, and this whole day is basically just a major downtrend. You get a first entry, second entry short. You get two legs to the new low here. It's kind of just a trading range. Then you get a 1, 2, 3 triple test. This was a little confusing here because you might have seen this as just 1 and then 2, but I think it's tested it once, twice, 3 times. So yeah, actually that's gonna be a red trade there. That's a nice triple test. It's a good signal bar. You don't have too much room back to the EMA. You have to hold this, but it does lead to a really good runner, but you don't know that. But that's a good, nice triple test across the board. Get a move down. You get a first entry, second entry short. It just resets the count. So, maybe you take that trade. Maybe you see it as a first entry, second entry long, and it fails. You're just right here at the support. It is rejected off the EMA, so maybe you enter with a limit order. Not going to mark that, but maybe context-wise. Okay, and then you get a first entry, second entry short with a lower high. This is a little confusing. You have to make sure that it's a first entry, pulls back. You're waiting. You have an inside bar. Wait for it to break, drop a limit order, and go for your additional target here, wherever you're looking for. Then you move along across here. You get a first entry, second entry short as well. Not a good signal bar. This is all very congested after about this point here is when it starts just getting super congested. Then it moves up, break, new high. Then it kind of gets two legs to a new move back here. You get a double bottom, comes all the way back up, tries to break out, fails. That's when you get a 1, 2, and 3 triple test. Not the best signal bar. You're going right into support. You'd have to do a limit order. You don't know it's going to be a runner here, but do a limit order. Make sure your stop is appropriate across the top here. And maybe it's only a 4-tick scalp, but nonetheless, 1, 2, 3 triple test. This thing starts selling all the way off here. No room to really get in. Price is way below the EMA. And then you get a first entry, you get a second entry, or you get a second entry short here, but bad signal bar. So then you just get a 1, 2, 3 triple test across the board, expecting to make back to the lows here at the support, which you get. A nice triple test right there. Moves up, tries to break out, and sells off. So you get basically a bull trap here. Then you get a first entry, second entry long, and it fails. That's an inside bar, but it's a bearish bar. Low of day. You're looking for at least another low of day back down here. And just sells right through it. It's an aggressive failed second entry long, but maybe you take that trade. And then I thought this was going to be... this is a little note before it starts bottoming out here. You get a nice final flag. You get a 1, 2, 3. Tries to push up 3 times, and it fails. And you also get a first entry, pulls back, second entry long. And this one's tempting to take. You just have to be very careful. But if you notice, you're in a downtrend. So I think probably maybe some of you took that second entry long. And then it stops you out. And you can see this trap here. It just was looking for everyone taking the second entry long and traps everyone and sells off. So you got to be careful of this trade. Make sure you're in the context of the trend and don't just look for the pattern. Okay, then we just get a first entry, get a second entry, and it fails. I think this is more of a count here, though. You got to be careful with counting. So I see this as a double bottom, and then that's when I saw a first entry pulls back, and I saw a second entry short. So let me just show you that again. You have a low here. You just have a first entry, comes down, makes a double bottom. It will never get, sometimes it'll get to the tick, but when you're looking at price, it never does the same thing exact. So you have to basically do just context, and that's why it's a double bottom, move up, break, new high. You get a 2-legged pullback, first entry, second entry short. If you don't like that, then you get a first entry, second entry long that fails, also lower high. There's another trade right there to confirm this second entry. But that's a great signal bar. I think you should take that. Then we get another move up. First entry, pulls back, second entry short. You have this major red inside bar closing on its low to confirm the second entry short when it goes 1 tick below that bar. It's an aggressive trade. You got to know what you're doing. But right here, you can also argue 1, 2, and 3. Triple test. Maybe you take that. Then you get a first entry, breaks higher, second entry long, and it fails. I don't really like the outside bars here. The ATR super high. Your limit, your stop is extremely far away. You got to be very careful. But you are expecting a break new low. So again, aggressive trade. But I'm just wanting to show you this and teach you this. If you are interested in taking some of these aggressive trades, I will mark them. But remember that the black arrows are aggressive. And then it kind of goes into 2 o'clock here. We don't get too much else. You got to move down, break, new low. Just trying to chop sideways here. And Eventually, before the end of day starts to happen, we get a nice move down, you get a break, and you get a first entry, pulls back, second entry short. Has a little stem here, so then I was like, this might be okay, but then you get a lower high, and plenty of room back down, you get a new low of day, so that's a nice trade there. Oh, I think I skipped over this one. You get a first entry, pulls back, second entry, right? Then you get a first entry, breaks higher, second entry when it breaks this outside bar right here to the low. So, it's a scalp here. Again, it's a very aggressive trade. It's at the resistance. You really got to know what you're doing. I'm almost hesitant to mark these aggressive trades, but we'll see. Nonetheless, then, yeah. So then you get your first entry, second entry short, and then you get a lower high. Nice trend channel down. Then you get a first entry, pulls back, second entry short once it goes one tick underneath this outside bar. Not a good signal bar though. Too much stem, and then you get a nice lower high to confirm the setup. You don't have tons of room back down to the low of day, but I mean, with days like this, and it's just making a new low of day, low of day, low of day, low of day, I think you can take that trade. It's just not the best signal bar, so that's why it's aggressive. And then we just kind of get into the end of day, just kind of a little noisy, up, down, up, down, up, down. Price going above and below the EMA. Not really holding anything anymore. I'd say majority of the trades definitely were better in the early session of the day, which I liked more. But that's how I saw it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this chart review. And I will see you guys next time.